Hello, and welcome to Explore Within Coaching. I'm Oceana. Today, I want to talk to you about body image and what it means in our world today, and how we are inundated with what our bodies need to look like. It's no wonder most of us go through life hating our bodies, not understanding what a glorious vessel it is and how it actually supports us. So, what is body image? Like, really, what is it? Well, it is defined as the subjective picture or mental image of one's body, which is subjective based on how it is influenced by a person's feelings, tastes, and preferences or opinions. But where do our opinions come from? How do we determine what is beauty? Unfortunately, the biggest influencer on beauty is social media, magazines, media, however you want to call all of it. And the messaging is very confusing. It's very, what's the word for it? Ever flowing. So I've not personally bought any kind of magazines in, we're in what, 2021? Oh my goodness, 13 years. So 13 years ago, I made the conscious decision to stop buying magazines. And the reason I made that decision was because the messaging that I was getting was how I wasn't good enough. All the advertisements were about very tall, slender women. I'm 5'4" and very curvy and round. It was about wearing makeup. It was about what kind of perfume to wear. It was about how to attract a man. And looking at that messaging day after day, page after page, actually caused me to feel insignificant, unworthy. And why would I pay somebody to do that to me? Like, really, why? So I made the conscious decision to stop buying magazines. Now, that's not to say that I haven't looked at magazines, but now I'm able to flip through and find the article that was attracting me off the cover. I don't have a lot of interest in the ads that are inside the magazine. And the reason for that is simply because the ads make me feel inadequate as a woman. They make me feel inadequate as a human. And I'm just not okay with that anymore. So quite a few years ago, I was putting together a body imaging class, and I wanted to get clear on how society bases beauty. And I had written down a bunch of notes, and I'm going to actually share them with you. And I just want to share this. So in 1910, for women, they had what they called the Gibson girl. She was all about the figure 8. She was rounded on top, cinched in at the waist, and rounded at the hips. So she had that curve, dent, curve again. And that's what they considered beauty at that time. Then in the 1920s, the flapper girl came in, and she had the small bust, small hips. In 1930, the soft siren was what the new beauty trend was, and it was the more natural waist and the curvy body. In the 1940s, it was the star-spangled girl. She was taller, boxier. She had shoulder pads and straight hips. So if you had curvy hips, you would wear a larger shoulder pad so that your body appeared more straight and box-like. In the 1950s, it changed again, and suddenly the hourglass woman was back in. So the larger breasts, curvier hips, the more of a little bit of a stomach. And it suggested that skinny women needed to take weight gain supplements in order to be beautiful. In the 1960s, the woman's new figure was considered the twig. That was more of that doll face, super slender, very, very petite. And then in the 70s, in came the Disco Diva. I love that name, Disco Diva. Again, slimmer hips, flatter stomach, a leaner look, small curves, and that's what was starting to make that comeback again. So we've gone from this hourglass to the slender, to the hourglass to the slender. In the 1980s, this is where that supermodel look started coming in. This again was the very tall, very leggy, very little curve. In the 1990s, the waif, so again, more of that gaunt look, very, very petite, very, very thin, a little bit of a hollow look to the face. And then in the 2000s, the buff body made its appearance for women. And that was the decade that women started getting into shape and showing off their muscles. They were still thin, but they were very well muscled in their thinness. And then in 2010, that was the booty baby. I love the booty baby. The booty baby was the flat stomach, but the large curvy hips, large curvy breasts, large curvy butt. So from 1910, I believe I started, 1910 to 2010, 100 years. And in that 100 years, every 10 years, the look of beauty changed for women. How does a young girl, teenage girl, adult woman change their being in order to fit society beauty? They can't. And so if you're in 1910 and that's that whole cinched waist and you've got zero curves, you're cinched super tight just to give yourself any kind of curve. And if you're a curvy woman, you've already got the added bonus. But come the 1920s, when that flapper girl is in, that curvy girl doesn't have a chance. And finally, the skinny girl does. Beauty and how it is defined in our society is fucked up. Plain and simple, it is fucked up. Every single person has a different body. Our bodies are unique to ourselves. And to try to fit them into a small little box that is acceptable by society standard is fucked up. Now, I did mention that this was fashion for women, and I do focus on working with women, but I want to say that our society basis of what is handsome in a man is just as fucked up as it is in what is acceptable in a woman's body. And just very quickly, men in the early 1800s to the 1900s, that was the dawn of the dad bod. You know, that little bit of a gut. It showed that they were healthy and that they were wealthy, and this was important when it came to attracting a mate. In the 1920s, they went into more of that Hollywood look. That's where they had the leaner bodies. In the 30s and 40s, it was a more muscular body, but still quite slender. In the 50s to 60s, they went into that more executive look. So the boxy shoulders, slender waist and hips. Tall was a great thing to be. There's never actually been a societal acceptability of short men. Again, bullshit. Fucked up bullshit. In the 60s and the 70s, it was a less rugged look, masculine look that was in. A little bit more androgynous. I can't say the word. Tall, slender, without curves, that was acceptable. In the 1980s, they hit the hard bodies. I'm sure everybody remembers or has seen a movie where on Venice Beach you have what they term as the muscle heads, and it's the guys that are like super buff upstairs, and then down underneath the waist they've got these tiny, tiny legs. That was that muscle body or beach body look. And then in the 1900s to today, well, they say to today, but I'm going to put in a different part. It again was more muscular to be the perfect body. I've noticed in the last 5 to 6 years, dad bods have come back. And I'm really happy for that. I think it's ridiculous that as a society, we tell people that it is not okay to be who they are. If you are a tall, slender person, be a tall, slender person. If you're a short, curvy person, be a short, curvy person. If you're muscular or if you're not, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you love the vessel that you are in. So get rid of your beauty magazines. Get rid of your muscle magazines. Get rid of the advertising that tells you that you are not fucking perfect the way you are. Because you are. Now, I have a caveat. I promote that people are perfect exactly as they are. That does not mean that people cannot make improvements to make themselves happier and healthier. And I will use my own example. I've shared, I am a 5'4", very round girl. Not too long ago, I was 336 pounds. Whew, hate putting that out publicly, but it's true. And I worked really hard. I learned how to eat properly for my body. I've learned how to exercise my body. I've learned how to have a happier, healthier body. However, I was still not losing weight. I was eating right. I was exercising. I was doing all the things I needed to do, but my body was still not releasing the weight. And as a result, it was putting a strain on my heart. It was putting a strain on my organs. And for me, as much as I could accept my body for the way that it was, and I could hold on to my curves and my stomach and look in the mirror and go, damn, you're beautiful. I wasn't unaware of the fact that my body inside wasn't healthy. And so I made the decision to undergo surgery in order to help with that. And as a result, I've lost a lot of weight. My heart is healthier. My organs are healthier. And I did that because as part of loving my body, it was about making sure that I am as healthy as I can be as an individual. So again, when I say love your body exactly as it is, I'm talking about the physicality of it. I'm talking about the emotion of it. And you can do that and still make embetterments to your body. But make those embetterments based on you, based on your health, based on the things that are going to make you happy. And not on what some fucking magazine or some social media post tells you is going to make you happy. Because I promise you, as long as you're making it, trying to fit into their box, you're never going to be happy. And you're never going to truly love your body. Okay, so I've rattled on a lot. I've sworn more than I normally do, but I'm really passionate about this. It frustrates me so much that we live in a society that tells us that we are not worthy all the time. Because it's such bullshit. I promise you, you are the most worthy person there is. You have the power to change the world just by being who you are. How fucking amazing is that? How exciting is that? Okay, that's it for me today, folks. I wanted to share that our body images is very often influenced by what is happening out in our world, and it's crap. Okay, that's it. Be safe, be good to one another, and love yourself and your body a little more each day.